Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots. Hoolers, shills, desolate, serfs, peasants, vassals, useless eaters. I'm a useful idiot. Today I want to talk about horse meat. And even though I am the official king of bullshit, I'm going to talk about horse meat. And I don't know if everyone's aware that there's a scandal spreading all across Europe. That's the fact that all this food that was marketed as beef is found out to contain horse meat, and it's gone from one country to another and spreading all over Europe now. And it's involved several different companies, and now it's getting an even higher profile because Nestle's has been testing their food and finding horse meat components as well. So this is going to spread like wildfire, and just like the banks, if one company's doing it, they're all doing it, and everybody cashed in on this cheap meat. And in fact, there's some bolognese sauce that's going around Europe that is a 100% horse meat. And so it's misleading, to say the least, that they are claiming that it is beef. And not necessarily that horse meat could be any worse for you than cattle these days, beef, but the fact is it's fraud and deception to sell this product. But who would be surprised? I mean, really, the era that we live in, that all this kind of fraud would go on, and the fact that they're selling us horse meat, sure, they're going to do it as long as they can get away with it. And right now they're trying to blame it on some kind of horse meat factory in Romania. And interesting side story, apparently 6 years ago, horse-drawn carts were banned from Romanian highways, so they have a huge surplus of horses. So apparently 100,000 horses were ground up and then put into the food supply of Europe, and now it's everywhere. And this isn't unprecedented. People have been eating horse meat regularly throughout the world for all eternity. And another interesting story is that after World War I, there was a huge surplus of military horses that had been through the battlefields of Europe. And they were ground up and made into dog food called, oddly enough, Friskies. So Friskies primarily known as cat food now, but in post-World War I years, it was a dog food made out of ground-up war horses. So anyway, just a little sideline there. But getting to my point, that's the whole thing about this horse meat story. It's just the lying and the fraud. And I don't think anybody should be surprised. And that's what I want to get across. That's my point. That's my bottom line here that I want to get across is why would anybody be surprised? First of all, you have your stealth inflation in products in the stores where the containers get changed and the portions get changed in order to make products smaller, increase their profit margins. And so there's some stealth inflation, and there's some lying. And then, of course, there's all the nutritional and health claims that a lot of products ballyhoo about, and those are unsubstantiated and are lies. And have you noticed that the shelf lives seem to get more and more extended because we have all kinds of preservatives and dyes? So the actual natural life of food that you're being sold is a lie. And then we have another recent story about Maker's Mark going to water down their liquor by 3%. Word got out, and they said they're not going to do it now, but of course they could do it, and nobody would notice the difference. And that brings me to one of my favorite food story corporate lies, bottled water. And I remember when bottled water first made a big splash, and I thought right away, I was like, boy, they could just get that water out of the tap, and nobody would know the difference. And sure enough, turns out most of the bottled water companies are getting their water from tap water, from public sources, and then bottling it and then reselling it at 10 to 100 times the price that they paid for it, right back to the very public that have access to the water out of their own taps. And ironically enough, in spite of knowing this, the American public and probably the global public continues to consume bottled water at record pace. So great plan by corporations, by the way, on that whole bottled water scam. And then we have another story came out recently that in the United States, apparently 30% of all seafood in the United States is mislabeled. So we're getting lots of fraud there too. Apparently the levels are up to 75% in sushi restaurants of it being what they are telling you it is. And a lot of times it's just a simple thing like saying it's tuna when it's actually Escobar. But nonetheless, it's an interesting pattern we see all through all of the corporate food business. And that's without getting into genetically modified foods and placebos and the notorious KFC pink slime, because you're sold a chicken nugget when actually it's a pink slime paste composite nugget rolled in breadcrumbs and oil and deep fried. Yummy. So anyway, go out there and enjoy your world of food fraud, because you never know what you're getting in reality. I'm a useful idiot. Don't you be one too.